Imagine this. You wake up, grab your phone, scroll through social media, and an hour passes without you even realizing it. Later, you feel restless at work, unable to focus on even the simplest tasks. By the evening, you're so mentally exhausted that you mindlessly binge a TV series. Sound familiar? This is the reality for many of us today. Our brains are constantly chasing dopamine highs, quick rewards that leave us feeling drained, not fulfilled. But what if I told you there's a way to reset your brain, regain control, and rediscover joy in the little things? That's what Dopamine Detox by author's name is all about. Let's dive in. Meet Sarah. She's a 28-year-old marketing professional, glued to her devices almost every waking hour. Her day is packed, replying to emails, doom-scrolling Twitter, and catching up on Netflix. Yet, she often feels unproductive and restless. Sarah's brain is in overdrive, flooded by dopamine from all these activities. The problem? She's stuck in a cycle of overstimulation, unable to enjoy simple moments like reading, walking, or even having a deep conversation. Sarah's story isn't unique. Many of us are caught in this loop. But Sarah decided to make a change. After reading Dopamine Detox, she embarked on a journey to recalibrate her brain. This is her story, and it might just be yours too. Dopamine, often called the motivation molecule, isn't just about pleasure, it's about anticipation and drive. It's the chemical that pushes you to set goals, take risks, and seek rewards. Think about it. Why do you feel excited when you're about to eat your favorite meal or open a gift? That's dopamine at work, encouraging you to pursue what your brain perceives as beneficial. This mechanism evolved to help early humans survive, motivating them to hunt, explore, and form communities. But in today's overstimulated world, dopamine is a double-edged sword. Here's the catch. Our brains haven't evolved to distinguish between meaningful rewards and artificial ones. Early humans got dopamine from activities essential for survival. Today, we get it from endless notifications, junk food, and viral videos. Our brains are being hijacked. The same system that once kept us alive now traps us in cycles of overstimulation. Social media, fast food, and streaming services bombard us with quick dopamine hits, leaving little room for meaningful, long-term satisfaction. Over time, constant dopamine stimulation takes a toll. Here's what happens. Baseline drops. The more your brain is flooded with dopamine, the more it expects, and your baseline levels drop. Tolerance builds. Like any addictive cycle, you need more dopamine to achieve the same high. Natural rewards lose appeal. Simple joys, like spending time in nature or reading a book, can't compete with the instant gratification of a like or a binge-worthy show. One of the biggest misconceptions about dopamine is that it makes you happy. But dopamine doesn't equal happiness. It equals anticipation. It's the chemical that fuels your drive to achieve something, not the satisfaction you feel afterward. True happiness comes from other brain chemicals like serotonin, which are linked to contentment and connection. When you rely too heavily on dopamine, you're always chasing, never enjoying. This is why balance is so essential. Take Sarah, for example. Like many of us, her day was ruled by dopamine triggers. The first thing she did in the morning was check her phone, scrolling through emails and social media. Snacks and energy drinks got her through work, and she ended each day with hours of Netflix. At first, these habits seemed harmless, but over time, Sarah noticed a change. She felt unmotivated, distracted, and disconnected. The activities that once brought her joy, painting, cooking, or calling a friend, felt like a chore. She was stuck in a cycle of chasing instant gratification, and it was taking a toll. The author explains dopamine's impact using a powerful metaphor, the seesaw. On one side, you have instant gratification, things like fast food, social media, and mindless entertainment. On the other side, you have sustainable joy, activities that bring long-term fulfillment, like learning, exercising, or spending time with loved ones. When the seesaw tips too far toward instant gratification, sustainable joys lose their appeal. But the good news is that you can restore balance. It starts with understanding your habits and taking back control of your time and attention. To take the first step toward a dopamine detox, the author recommends a simple but effective exercise, the dopamine audit. Track your habits. Write down everything you do in a day, from checking your phone to eating meals. Note time spent. Estimate how long you spend on each activity. Assess emotional impact. After each activity, reflect. Did this energize me, drain me, or leave me neutral? When Sarah did this, the results were shocking. She realized that most of her day was consumed by activities that drained her energy and focus. This exercise was her wake-up call. With her dopamine audit complete, Sarah took her first steps toward a detox. She started small, turning off phone notifications, limiting her social media time, and replacing Netflix with reading. At first, it was uncomfortable. Her brain craved the instant hits it was used to. But over time, something shifted. Mornings felt calmer without the constant buzz of her phone. Walks in nature became a source of peace. And as her brain recalibrated, she found joy in activities she'd long forgotten. The concept of dopamine detox isn't about completely eliminating dopamine. That's impossible and unnecessary. Instead, it's about reducing overstimulation so your brain can regain its natural balance. Studies show that constant dopamine spikes lower your baseline dopamine levels over time. This means you need more and more stimulation to feel the same level of reward. By stepping away from overstimulating activities, you allow your brain to reset. It's like hitting the refresh button for your mind. One evening, Sarah realized something had to change. She'd spent 6 hours scrolling through her phone, but couldn't recall a single thing she'd read. Frustrated, she decided to try a dopamine detox. Her first step, identifying her triggers: social media, junk food, and endless YouTube videos. Here's the step-by-step guide Sarah followed, and you can too. Identify triggers. Write down activities that give you instant gratification but leave you feeling empty later. Set boundaries. Commit to avoiding these triggers for a specific period. Start with 24 hours. Find substitutes. Replace high dopamine activities with calming alternatives like journaling, walking, or reading. Reflect daily. Spend a few minutes each evening journaling your experiences. Scale gradually. After your first detox, extend the time frame or make it a regular part of your routine. As Sarah continued her detox, she rediscovered simple joys: the satisfaction of completing a puzzle, the peace of a quiet morning walk, and the thrill of reading a great book. Her phone wasn't running her life anymore, she was. Of course, the detox wasn't easy. Sarah often felt bored or tempted to check her phone. But boredom, as the book explains, is part of the process. It's your brain recalibrating. To overcome these challenges, keep your phone out of reach. Replace screen time with meaningful activities. Remind yourself why you started. Write down your goals and revisit them daily. After a week of detoxing, Sarah noticed remarkable changes. She could focus better at work, her anxiety levels dropped, and she felt genuinely happy. This wasn't just a quick fix, it was a lifestyle transformation. Now it's your turn. Take a moment to reflect. What's one overstimulating activity you can step away from today? Start small and build from there. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, but progress. Every step you take toward balance is a victory. Dopamine detox isn't about giving up joy, it's about finding joy in the right places. By stepping away from overstimulation, you allow your brain to heal and your mind to thrive. Ready to start your journey? Share your plan in the comments, and let's reset together.